Morning, everybody. Now, I was interviewed by the BBC a few days ago at the count after the Tiverton and Honiton by-election, and it was, as usual, a hatchet job interview. Nice first question, but then the old guy who was interviewing just started to try to accuse me and the Heritage Party of being homophobic. And however much I wanted to try to get the conversation back onto talking about other things, he just kept on going with this same kind of smear. And eventually, I didn't give way to him. Obviously pushed back on him, and I think I did well. You can make up your own minds, but it was quite extraordinary because when I listened to it back, after I actually started talking about other things, there was some interference, and then the interview was cut off, and I was heard no more. So there you go, typical BBC hatchet job. Have a listen, and if you like this, do subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thanks.
I was hoping to speak to a candidate from one of the smaller parties that maybe not too many people have heard of. They're quite new. They're called the Heritage Party. He didn't want to do an interview, but I do have the leader of the party here with me. This is David Curtin. Good evening to you, David.
Good evening.
Right, what's the Heritage Party all about then? What's your thing?
We set up as a socially conservative party, so really I think people are fed up with what I call the fake conservative party, which always says that they're going to do conservative things, but the moment they get into power they start doing things that they didn't say they were going to do before the election, which is why they're getting a hammering here tonight. So we are really a party with true conservative policies that I think people can agree with, whether they're on the right or the left of politics. So things like financial responsibility, we're for national sovereignty, obviously we're for Brexit, and we're for finishing off the unfinished business with Brexit as well. We're for traditional family values and low immigration and self-sufficiency in skills and self-sufficiency in energy as well, which I think is a big issue related to the cost of living, which people say they're struggling with.
So when you say traditional family values, what do you mean in a policy sense then?
Well, we say that marriage is a man and a woman, so that's what we state, and that's one of our foundational principles, again with other socially conservative things. And we need to put families at the heart of the country again. I think there's been such an attack on families in general, so we need to elevate the role of the father again and stop attacking fathers, supporting families. And that's really, really important, particularly for teenage boys who often without a father can actually get into crime and all kinds of things like that. So we want to make sure that families are supported.
Isn't equal marriage a settled issue though? Do you really think that's a big relevant hot topic people are speaking about?
Well, it's one of many, many things. As I said in your first question, there are many topics that we talk about, but I think it is for some people. I think that some people still don't agree with the redefinition of marriage. That wasn't too long ago, it was 2013, and it's an act of parliament that I don't agree with, and I think that we would want to put the definition of marriage back to being a man and a woman.
And what would you say to people who say that that's homophobic?
Well, that's a word that's been made up, and people use that to try to throw a smear at people who maybe don't agree with them. But, it's not homophobic, or it's not anything wrong with disagreeing with a particular act of parliament, which is what we do.
So you don't think that gay people should have the same rights as straight people, is that correct?
Well, marriage is a man and a woman, and the whole point of marriage is that it's there to have children and to bring up your own children, and that's the primary purpose of marriage. So that's where we're coming from on that, and that's one of a number of things that are socially conservative issues, but it's not the only thing. So
it's a peculiar policy platform though, isn't it? It's not really a big hot topic people are debating at the moment. Well, it's a settled issue.
Well, as I said, there's many things. We stand for finishing off the unfinished business, like triggering Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol, getting our fishing waters back, opposing the net zero policy, which I think hurt prices at the moment.
I think we'll just leave our discussion there about the Heritage Party. We're just losing the line slightly, and that will work to get that back.